testing, like that, human beings. At close range, you might even switch to something called canister. Fire! And when you fire, your cannon turns into a... fabric being torn in two. And the British actually had a secret weapon. They had exploding bombs they could fire out of the cannons. Very brand new device. Most of the bombs had to be fired out of specialized cannons called mortars or howitzers, and they had limited range. But this new bomb called spherical case shot, you could fire it much farther, it would explode and rain debris upon the enemy. Now, spherical case shot, that's a bit of a mouthful. So the Army tends to short form things, so they just nicknamed it after the next.
Fuck sakes, really?
What?
Artillery.
Oh, that's fucking loud.
There.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Front right, make ready. Set.
Now, for those of you who like fancy outfits, you have noticed the officers. Officers wear much nicer looking uniforms than both the British and the American Army, for the simple fact of the matter, they paid for it. Officers in both armies were expected to purchase their own uniforms, weapons, equipment, sometimes even bought their own food and brought servants with them on campaign. And a lot of us find that odd. Why would you spend so much money to get shot at? Well, there was a reward. British officers who proved themselves on the field could win land, title, prizes, and promotion. And an excellent example of that was a young man who at 17 had two hobbies: getting drunk and playing the fiddle. When he left the army, he was a lord, a duke, a viscount, been knighted by the king, had over 20 titles, multiple nations across Europe, was a field marshal in the British Army, had 5 mansions and estates,
I'm good
and a
here.
wealth that today would exceed to the billions of pounds. But we don't think of him as a drunkard anymore. We think of him by his proper title, and that's the Duke of Wellington. Now, for the Americans, it was similar. A lot of the Americans, they would use their fame in the army and their promotion to translate into a different type of power, political power. Many men in the United States Army after the war, as officers, they would run for political office saying, "I fought at this battle." 4 men would become... Now behind me, we have a surgeon leading men off the battlefield. Surgeons were held position in the British Army, but were not permitted to give orders to the men. Hence why this officer does not have a sash on. A sash was a mark of command. Surgeons were butchers compared to modern day, but that doesn't mean that they didn't care. They did their best with what they have. I'm giving you credit. They did their best with the information that they had, and some of them were very capable. In fact, one fellow, he was 19 years old, William Dunlop, he was assistant surgeon with the 89th. He had an 80% survival rate for amputations. That's pretty good in an era before antiseptics and before painkillers. When the Americans were lucky, close to the shore, so if things went haywire, they had somewhere to fall back to and defend themselves, so they could properly get away with their force intact.
What's the load of smell of fish?
Yeah, I know, right?
He's like his brother. Older brother.